You'll be right. Be brave. It's just got to be near enough so that when we drop it, it doesn't do anything silly. Right.
Today I'm working on upgrading our solar a little bit to work with the new lithium batteries we have here. We just have so much potential for power now. I just want to make sure we're generating enough.
Our lithium batteries, kindly donated to us from our friends on Delos, have a 600 amp power capacity and the ability to draw large loads from AC appliances such as our water maker, hair dryer, and water heater. Batteries are like a bank account though, and the money, or amps, it has the ability to hold requires a means of replenishment. In this case, solar panels, our primary charging source. And that's why we're going to add 600 more watts of solar to the davits.
So what I'm doing is I'm taking our existing 125 watt panels that we have on our bimini, and I am putting them to a new, bigger charge controller. They're currently run in parallel. What that means is that each solar panel has its own charge controller, and that charge controller is connected to the batteries. The problem is that the charge controllers need a +5 voltage higher than what the batteries are sitting at. So on any given day, our batteries are at about 13 volts, so we're not going to begin to charge until we hit 18 volts in each panel. What we're moving to is moving our panels into series. What this allows us to do is add the two voltages across the panels as they're connected together. So we only need to now generate 9 volts and 9 volts to activate the charge controller +5 differential. This will allow us to charge much earlier in the morning and also much later into the afternoon, as we're not waiting for this panel to hit 18 volts. So I have a little jumper cable in order to make the panels go to series. Basically, I connect the positive and negative of the two panels. Yeah, should be interesting. Give it a whirl.
We're tackling this project with beautiful Maine scenery as our backdrop. We've been cruising here for over a month now, and as you saw in our last episode, have had the chance to check out a few incredible spots and lovely anchorages in this stunning place. But having arrived here past the midpoint of the summer season, it's already the first week of September, and we're hoping to bang this project out as quickly as possible so we can get back to the business of exploration.
So these are our two flexible solar panels that are on top of our Dodger. And you can see I have 4 wires, so they were wired in parallel, each going down. So what I have to do here is I have to connect a positive to a negative on each side of the panels. This is my positive one right here. Now I'm just gonna make sure this is a negative here. So that negative in there, black, red. Okay, that's right. So this is now gonna go here. Okay, so let's go down below and test. 36, there you go.
Sweet.
So that's, yeah, we're putting in 37 volts DC now. The new controller is up to 100. Let's see what kind of amps we get out of this. Will be interesting. So you can see, we have it all hooked up, and I have this nifty little Bluetooth app that comes with the controller. But you can see we're doing about 30 volts coming out in the sun. That's yielding about 2 amps of power to the battery.
Which is a lot more than
Which is a lot more than it would have been if, if we had separated them, yeah. Alrighty, so my friend Andy and I, we mocked up the dinghy davits with like stainless steel bar. There's all my piping up there. What I'm gonna do now is get the davits off because I have to go into a welder. So I'm gonna remove them from the boat. I'm gonna do some glass work. So you see the stress cracks here. The hull isn't really built to take the load of the davit, so I'm gonna be glassing some support into the back of that. Weird seeing Calico Skies without davits, but don't get too used to without davits and all these clean lines because the davits are going on with a vengeance. We're gonna be adding 600 watts of solar on top of our davit. So it's gonna be even bigger and badder. So, back to grinding fiberglass today. I was like, let me turn the generator so you can hear me. So, I'm reinforcing the transom where the davits hit. On our port side, we have a tank locker, which supplies some rigidity to the whole structure. On the starboard side, it's just empty. You can see the sun coming through, so it's pretty light layup there. Not meant to have all that load on the davits and the boat moving in a seaway and the dinghy moving around. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna glass this a little bit in. It's like a little bit of fiberglass. I'm gonna glass this in like this, like an I-beam. And that is gonna be taking some of the sideways of pushing in load that's what davits generate. So I'm just sanding in there a little bit, and then I'm gonna try to lay it up. We'll see. Hopefully get that done today. Heading to the welder tomorrow. So moving along here. So I put some strings through the mounting holes for the davit. I'm gonna glass this section here in the corner, that section there, and I'm gonna come back and cut the strings. So this is now glued in pretty well. Today what we're doing is we're actually gonna fiberglass this into the hull. So I'm gonna make a template. We're gonna do 3 layers of fiberglass cloth. You have layers, you let them get an inch shorter each time so you don't load up the edge of the fiberglass where you're on your hull and crack it.
Fiberglass?
Yeah, so if you don't like do the cascading, like 1 layer ends here, 1 end here, 1 end here, all the load is being transferred to that one spot where the 3 layers of cloth would be sitting. So you want to have the load distributed across the hull.
Okay, that makes sense.
I need to do a relief cut there.
For perspective, I'm gonna show you the hole that Bill's in. Okay, so this is the lid to this hole, and this is in the back part of our cockpit, behind the wheel here. This is where the engine start is, and then this is the, what do you call these things?
Lazarette.
Lazarette, where we keep our autopilot. And this is also where our heater is installed. So Bill has spent a lot of time in this.
Yeah. Autopilot's on the starboard side, heater's on the port side.
Well, I guess, yeah, the actual.
All that autopilot controls are computers and stuff.
So on this fine windy day, what are you working on right now, honey?
Cutting out some fiberglass cloth for our little string arm glassing right now.
So Bill made up this lovely template a few minutes ago. It's pretty windy, which is not ideal for dealing with fiberglass on a boat. So we're gonna do 6 layers, 3 for the top part, 3 for the bottom. And this is a bit more of a quick and dirty fiberglass job than we did, well, quite a bit more than we did on the starboard, our starboard bulkhead down below. That one was
somewhat crazy.
Different beast. This one, you know, we really just want the structural support that the glass is going to provide, and no one's going to be able to see it. How I'm coping with this round 2 of fiberglassing. What happened to your suit?
It's over. It's gonna be itchy for the next week.
I don't know. I don't think that was an extra large. I tried taping the hole shut, but it didn't work. So I feel a little itchy myself.
No.
I do.
Not possible. Oh, God.
Oh, man. I tried.
Tried to wear a suit. 1, 2, 3. So to start, we're gonna do a thickened batch. Because the hull has some texture to it, the layup. The thickening should help create like a uniform bond. So kind of trying to get like a mayonnaise consistency. I'm gonna paint it on the area where we're glassing. We've thickened it with this 406 silica stuff. Grace calls it fluffy. See, blow it up.
Articles. This is by far one of the windiest days we've had.
All summer.
Yeah, all summer. So it's pretty
Maybe it blew our
pretty ironic.
Maybe it blew our fiberglass stuff away.
Yeah, maybe.
So I'm gonna go ahead and what I'm gonna do is go and coat the area. Sometimes they call for neat to do this. I'm gonna use thicken just because I want to fill the gaps, and then we're gonna start wetting out cloth. Smearing it on like a bagel. Too thick. Stuff to start adhesion. Last layer, a little hard to film because it's so chaotic fiberglassing. Trying to get all the air bubbles out I'm working on right now. I'm gonna cut the excess cloth off too. So as you can see, have some stainless steel in the ding with me. I'm going over to our friend Andy's boat. He's much better of a grinder than I am. He was like a fabricator in a past life. It's going pretty well. Okay.
We opted to do all the prep work for the welder to help keep costs down. One end of the new solar panels will be mounted to the lower bar of our davits, and the other end will be mounted to a new vertical bar on the upper part of the davits. To prep for the welding, Bill and Andy cut the ends off the old davits and cut the new extension pieces and vertical bar to size.
These are our new and improved davits. They're extra long to take a big solar panel. When we did that though, we had to have these tabs welded on for our davit lift hardware, as well as our kayak lift. So I'm just going ahead and re-adding the blocks because it's gonna be so far out off the boat. It's easier to do this stuff now than on deck before I hoist it up. Using some BP hardware, I don't want this to go anywhere. This is for our dinghy. And then this will be further aft. That's where the kayak is gonna go.
Okay. So these blocks that we bought ended up working really well, right?
Yeah, these low friction Harkins are they're awesome.
They're expensive.
Yeah, they had blocks that came with this thing. That's actually what we chopped off. There's a box of blocks, like a ship box, and it's garbage. They crack inside, and these are way less friction. They're actually really good, these blocks. Lock these guys. This ain't gonna be easy, is it?
No.
That for a sec.
I'm gonna have really sore arms tomorrow after my
Alright, it's gonna go
kayak ride and then
back through. Okay, so bolt number 1 is secure.
bolt number 1 is secure.
Yep.
Okay.
So here goes up the second davit. I think what we're gonna do is I'm gonna lift it, get it on the base plate here, and get a nut in there. I'm gonna pass it to you up on the boat.
Okay.
I think we now have to swing out to this side because otherwise we'll be crashing up against this one. Okay, here we go.
Alright. Second davit, best davit.
That is awkward.
Oh, I think these are pretty heavy too.
So, going to check out our new handiwork. I finally got the davits back on. You can see the framing is ready for solar panel. We're gonna put two 300-watt panels up there, which I feel like it's a ton of power. We have 510 watts right now, so more than 100% more than what we currently have in solar capacity. I think it looks pretty cool. Well, today is the big day. We're gonna go lift the solar panels onto this new davit arrangement we have. It's kind of a big project. The panels weigh about 80 pounds. They're bolted together. So what we're actually gonna do is use Andy's boat as a crane. So I'm gonna go bring the boat over to Andy's giant catamaran, and they're on his foredeck, the two panels bolted together, and we're going to raft up. That is the plan today. Always an interesting thing over here.
Our new solar panels are on Avalon, Andy's boat, because they're not actually new. Andy sustained damage to 2 of his 4 solar panels and needs new ones, but he's decided to upgrade his solar arrangement and purchase 6 new panels. The new ones will need to be the same model, so he can't use the existing good panels, and he's instead selling them to us, saving us a lot of money.
I'll handle the stern line. That's gonna be the most important one because we're going stern too, so the wind's gonna be pushing us that way, the bow forward. You do the spring in the bow. Ah!
You'll be right. Be brave. That's cool. Right, bow line. Beautiful.
Right, because we want to work on the... God, this boat is high. Jeez. Wrong dimension. Is that gonna crack right now?
So it's supposed to be 166, and it's springing out to 171. So we'll correct it. But when you do metal like this, you've got to go a little bit past because it's got a bit of memory in it and it's spring. So you kind of, the trick is, the art is to overdo it, overcook it a little bit, and then when you release the tension, it springs back again. And it was at 171, it's now bent to 160. Okay, so we don't want to overcook it so much. 164. Right, okay, now I'm going to let it go again. It'll spring.
I think we could do that, Andy.
Well, when you put the weight on it too, it's going to flatten out, but then we can clamp it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think this is good, right?
There you go. I'm going to see where I'm going. I don't understand my pass. Hang on, we're going to flip it over. Whee. Allow for the mast angle.
This is the junctions are here, so we got to go.
Okay, so you're saying that's got to go to the south?
Yep, the wires are right here.
Okay, so bring it around at another 90 degrees. Just get it in the right orientation.
Yep.
It's just got to be near enough so that when we drop it, it doesn't do anything silly. You got it?
Yep.
And this is look at the this is the bit where we got all the swells coming through. Yeah. So naturally you're gonna get the freaking swells. Yeah.
The back stays gonna be center line of the boat. These two right here, right?
think it's got to come across it. Right.
Kick a little starboard. We always list to port.
Sorry?
We always list to port. Let's kick a little bit starboard.
Okay. Yeah, the hole's in the right spot. Yes.
64. It might be 5 mils out. I don't think it matters.
I'm pretty happy with it. So you're on top.
Yep. So this is our negative now. Ooh. Can you, this is negative. Negative. Can you pull, I just want to pull the panels back out.
Am I in the way?
Yeah. I don't like the idea of getting electrocuted by 40 volts right now. Yeah. I think it's actually, it's a little more dangerous when you're working with higher voltages.
Yeah.
That normally, like 12 volts I don't really care about. So Andy and I are working on getting some solar panels installed for our new lithium bank. Oops. Shopping parts, as you can see.
How are we back here again?
Oi! Whatever. You don't need that.
Oh, that's counts.
You don't need it though.
Alright.
It's shit.